Hi, this is Michael Thompson from Zoe, and I want to welcome you to the Wednesday Morning Rescue. This is our weekly audio encouragement offered through Zoe's daily orientation. What you are about to listen to is an excerpt from the Men's Heart of a Warrior Conference or the Zoe Women's Deepening Weekend Retreat. It is our hope that your heart finds strength, beauty, and courage for the life God has called you to live in the larger story. It was C.S. Lewis who once wrote, "Relying on God has to begin all over again every day, as if nothing had yet been done." It is our prayer that this devotional brings an orientation to your heart, settling you and equipping you to play your part well in the great love story set in the midst of the fierce battle. Today, may you experience the love of God, learning how to walk with Him and live free. Welcome to the Exploring More podcast with Michael Thompson. I am Michael Thompson. I'm with my friends who are S.J. Jennings and Tom Benner and Jim Cheney. It's so good to be with you men, talking about the kingdom, talking about our lives with Jesus, talking about how God's fathering us and the discoveries, the things that are new, the things that are significant, and the things that He's entrusting to us on our journey of a life of more. And that's what we're talking about in this series. This is part 3 of a 3-part podcast series on a life of more. Tom brought it up. There's banners on our website: more love, more life, and more freedom. And you can see those and explore those on your own if you go to the Zoe website, ZOWEH.org. But these are big deals. These are important things in our faith and our walk. I wanted to just kick off a couple things. We've been talking about more love. We talked about more life in the second podcast. And today we're going to talk about more freedom. Listen to a couple passages as we start. Deuteronomy 30:19. I have set before you life and death, the blessing and the curse. Therefore, you shall choose life in order that you may live, you and your descendants. Right? This choice to be at a place where you can choose which kingdom you'll align with, the truth that sets you free or the lies that bind. And then this other little phrase is kind of crazy about your descendants. How our choices aren't in a silo, they're not isolated. The more freedom you experience, the more freedom that you love others with, the more invitation that your life can be to others. Not everybody will recognize it. Not everybody will want it. But I just thought that's a powerful declaration. Here's another one from Psalm 56:13. For you have rescued my soul from death, yes, and my feet from stumbling, so that I may walk before God in the light of life.
Yeah, that sounds like freedom to me, walking in the light of life.
And yet it doesn't seem like it's easy or normal. It seems like we're on a little bit of an uphill, kind of an incline a lot of the times, a lot of days.
Yeah, either that or it's opposed. There's something
there
in the
go.
way. There's somebody throwing landmines out there on the path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the kingdom of the Lord Jesus Christ is one of life and love and freedom, then you know that there is an opposition. There's a kingdom force, kingdom of darkness, a prince of darkness, the father of lies, that is opposed to your love, your life, and your freedom. If you're made for love, life, and freedom, then we really have the context of the larger story that these things are opposed. The enemy hates you. He offers death, separation, wants to get in the way between the father and his sons, father and his daughters. It's not freedom, it's the opposite. It's bondage.
It's bondage, yeah.
That's a pretty large story. And yet we see that play out in all the epic stories that we love. We talked about that. We've talked about the context of our story and the larger story. So if we're made for intimacy with God, then we know what's opposed. We have an unholy trinity, right, that is at work against us. The false self-flesh, the kingdom of darkness. And then this world seems to be a place where everybody's false selves kind of run amok. You kind of bounce into each other. You use one another. There's a lot of consumering going on, trying to get from one another. Conditional love is pretty rampant. This is a pretty hostile environment. Life outside the garden, in between these chapters of when there won't be any more sin, when evil will be defeated once and for all. And so here we find ourselves in a fight for freedom, a battle for freedom. And there's a lot of things that can get in the way. Does that just sound overcooked to you a little bit?
I don't think so. No, sounds pretty accurate.
We keep saying this is not easy. There's work involved. There's intentionality involved. So that sort of implies that there's opposition.
Thank you for listening to this week's Wednesday Morning Rescue, a part of Zoe's Daily Orientation. To sign up for the Daily Orientation, explore more information on Zoe's weekend retreats, or to order the book, The Heart of a Warrior, go to our website at www.zoe.org. That's www.zoweh.org.